Rain pours down relentlessly on a quiet, suburban street in Seattle as Sarah stands, outside her own home, suitcase in hand, tears mixing with the downpour. Her husband of 8 years, Mark, slams the door behind her, his final words echoing like thunder. "You're useless without children. I need a real wife who can give me a family. Pack your things and get out." Sarah collapses, on the wet curb, sobbing uncontrollably. Her dreams of a happy life shattered in an instant. After years of trying, the doctors confirmed she couldn't conceive, but Mark blamed her, called her broken. Now homeless and heartbroken, she wonders how she'll survive alone. What would you do if the person you loved most betrayed you like this, kicked you out for something beyond your control? Could you ever forgive, or would you rise stronger? Little does Sarah know a chance encounter with a powerful CEO is about to change everything. We open on brighter days, flashing back to Sarah and Mark's life 2 years earlier in their cozy Seattle home. Sarah, a warm-hearted, 32-year-old graphic designer, working from home, is the epitome of kindness, always baking cookies for neighbors, volunteering at local shelters. Mark, a mid-level sales manager, seems loving at first, but subtle cracks show he pressures Sarah constantly about starting a family, dismissing her career as just a hobby. Their daily life appears normal: mornings with coffee on the porch, evenings watching Netflix, but tension builds slowly. Sarah decorates a nursery, hopeful after another failed IVF round, only for Mark to snap. "This is wasting money on your problem." Cinematic details ground the realism. Close-ups of Sarah's tear-streaked face in the bathroom mirror after negative pregnancy test, the sterile clinic waiting room with ticking clocks, Mark scrolling baby photos on his phone while ignoring Sarah's pain. Cut to present day, post-eviction. Sarah, now living in a cramped studio apartment, pours her grief into her freelance work. She lands a small contract redesigning a website for a local coffee chain. One rainy afternoon, she heads to a bustling downtown cafe to meet a potential client, laptop in tow. The place is alive with the aroma of fresh brews, soft jazz playing, patrons typing away. There she bumps into Alexander Grant, tall, confident, in his late 30s, dressed sharply but approachable. He's the CEO of a thriving tech company specializing in eco-friendly apps. Unbeknownst to Sarah, he's there for a casual meeting. As she spills her coffee, reaching for a table, Alexander instinctively helps clean it up. "Sorry, clumsy me," Sarah laughs nervously. "No harm done," he smiles warmly. "Let me buy you a replacement." Their conversation starts light, talking about Seattle's endless rain, her design work. Alexander is charmed by her genuine passion and resilience, though she hides her recent heartbreak. This stranger's small act of kindness feels like a glimmer of hope in her darkened world. The main struggle hits hard as Sarah navigates life alone. Flashbacks reveal the full cruelty. During a heated argument after the final fertility diagnosis, Mark screams, "You're useless without children. I married you thinking you'd give me a family, not this empty house." He packs her bags himself, changes the locks overnight. Now Sarah battles depression and financial strain. Bills pile up, freelance gigs are inconsistent. She cries herself to sleep, questioning her worth. Am I really broken? Emotional moments pierce Sarah, walking past playgrounds, longing in her eyes as kids laugh, deleting old couple photos from her phone. Mark, meanwhile, moves on quickly, dating a younger colleague who's fertile and fun, bragging to friends about his upgrade. Sarah hears through mutual acquaintances, deepening her pain. At the cafe meetings for her project, she crosses paths with Alexander again. He's a silent investor in the coffee chain. Their chats grow deeper. He shares how he built his company from nothing after losing his parents young, valuing inner strength over everything. But Sarah's insecurity holds her back. One evening alone, she confides in a voice message to an old friend. "How can anyone want me now I'm damaged goods?" Stakes rise. Sarah risks losing her apartment if a big client falls through, and emotionally, she's on the brink of giving up hope for love or happiness. Alexander senses her guardedness but doesn't push, offering quiet support, like recommending her for a freelance opportunity at his company. The problem crystallizes. Can Sarah heal from the betrayal that stripped her self-worth, or will Mark's words define her forever? Sarah takes the freelance gig at Alexander's tech firm, redesigning their app interface. Working remotely at first, then in office meetings, their bond strengthens. Small twists emerge. Alexander invites her to a team brainstorming session where her creative ideas impress everyone. You're brilliant, he tells her genuinely. Sarah, I don't know, after everything I feel like I have nothing to offer. Alexander, you've got heart that's rarer than any title. Setbacks hit Mark texts. Sarah out of the blue mocking her. Heard you're struggling, told you no kids means no future. This triggers a panic attack. Sarah almost quits the job. But Alexander notices, shares his own vulnerability. I was engaged once. She left because I worked too hard building the company, no time for kids yet. It hurt, but it taught me people's worth isn't in checklists. Surprises build, Sarah discovers. Alexander anonymously donated to the shelter she volunteers at. A small act of kindness restores her faith. They share dinners platonically, at first walking. Seattle's waterfront at dusk, lights reflecting on the water. Emotional interactions deepen. Sarah tearfully, he said I was useless without children. Alexander, he was wrong. You're enough just as you are. Tension rises as Mark hears rumors of Sarah's success through mutual friends and tries calling, feigning regret. Sarah ignores him, but doubt creeps in. Meanwhile, Alexander wrestles with feelings, not wanting to push her while she's healing. A twist, Sarah's design wins company-wide praise, landing her a full-time offer. But internally, she fears opening her heart again. The peak explodes at the company's annual gala in a glittering Seattle venue, chandeliers, sparkling city skyline glowing through windows. Sarah attends as the honored designer, stunning in a simple, elegant dress. Alexander, proud, introduces her. This talented woman turned our app around. Shockingly, Mark crashes the event, having weaseled an invite through a connection, desperate to win. Sarah back now that she's thriving. He corners her near the balcony. Sarah, baby, I was wrong. Come home, we can adopt or something. Sarah, voice trembling. You called me useless, kicked me out like trash. The room quiets as voices rise. Alexander approaches, seeing the distress. Mark sneers loudly. Who's this, your boss? Pity hire. Then the emotional punch. Alexander steps forward protectively. I'm Alexander Grant, CEO of this company, and Sarah is the most valuable person here, not because of what she can produce, but who she is. Mark scoffs. She can't even have kids, useless without them. Gasps ripple. Sarah breaks down. That's what you said when you threw me out. Alexander, eyes fierce. Then you're the fool for losing her. He reveals he's falling for Sarah in front of everyone. I've never met anyone stronger, kinder. Mark storms out, humiliated. Sarah sobs in Alexander's arms as applause erupts, colleagues cheering her. Resilience visuals intensify close-up. Tears rain, starting outside, mirroring her past pain, now washing it away. All react. Sarah empowered, Alexander vulnerable, the crowd inspired. Months later, Sarah thrives as creative director at the company, her confidence restored. She and Alexander date, slowly building a genuine connection, based on respect and shared values. One sunny day in a blooming Seattle park, Alexander proposes a future together. Kids or no kids, I want you forever. Sarah smiles through happy tears. Yes, they adopt a rescue dog first, symbolizing new beginnings. Subtle hint of love, a tender kiss as cherry blossoms fall. Archie fades into regret alone. The story ends inspiringly. Sarah volunteers more, mentoring women facing similar heartbreaks. Voiceover worth isn't in what we give others, it's in the love we carry inside. Feel good closure. Sarah, once broken, now whole and loved for exactly who she is. If you enjoyed this emotional story of resilience, betrayal, and true love, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you never miss our heartfelt short films that touch the soul. Tell us in the comments, what would you do if you were in Sarah's situation? Forgive, forget, or rise stronger? Your stories inspire us.